It's time now for weather with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. And Al, I thought last week was hot, but seems even hotter this week. How's the forecast looking as we head into September?
Yes, Troy, it's been very hot this last week. We've seen this all across the Midwest. In fact, we've seen the crop ratings the last 2 weeks decline, and I expect a really significant decline this next week with these temperatures anywhere from the mid 90s to the 105, 108 range out in the panhandle on a couple of these instances in these very dry conditions. We've just plain run out of gas in a lot of the dryland environment for this crop, and we've seen these declines. The drought monitors expand the abnormal dryness pretty significantly. So the big question is, do we have any precipitation and can we get rid of this heat? So let's go to the upper air models and see what we might have in store, particularly in the wetter environment that we might see in eastern Nebraska. As you can see from this morning's upper air chart, we have a trough over the Pacific Northwest. The ridge is starting to break down here across the center part of the country. We've got a little energy riding over top of that ridge, just not a lot of moisture to work with. And lots of that moisture was sucked up out of the atmosphere by Hurricane Laura, which is off the East Coast. So really the only residual moisture we have is expected to be across northern Kansas. But we have a trough coming in as we go into tomorrow, coming out of the northwest, and that does look like it's going to provide some ample lift across eastern Nebraska. Low pressure sets up in southeastern South Dakota. This is going to bring a pretty good shot of cool air into our region. Although we don't show any moisture Saturday or Sunday morning, the real action starts to begin as we get into Sunday night into Monday, as that trough starts to deepen and we get some energy on the backside of it coming into our region. High pressure at the surface is going to provide the perfect ingredient for a convergence zone, and we look like we'll see some thunderstorm activity across central and eastern Nebraska. Unfortunately, most of this will miss western Nebraska. On Tuesday, we do see a little bit of a moderation in temperatures ever so slightly, but we have another trough coming in from our northwest that's going to reinforce the cold air, and it'll move through as we get into Tuesday night and to Wednesday. The main precipitation with the first cold front moves off to the southeast, and now we see that next piece of energy coming in over the northern plains on Wednesday, bringing some energy into our region. Low pressure sits up over south central Kansas. That might provide enough lift to get a convergence across portions of Nebraska, but it looks like the main emphasis of precipitation is still going to remain off the eastern seaboard. Our real action starts to come on Thursday as more of that energy starts to dive down out of the northwest. See low pressure in Montana and eastern Wyoming as a focal point for that precipitation. High pressure to our east. On the backside, we'll start to push moisture up in the region. We'll start to see some precipitation breaking out in eastern Kansas, and some of that may move up into southeast and east central portions of Nebraska as we get into Friday. We get some low pressure again in southwest Texas at the surface. With that energy to our north, we do have that convergence zone, and wherever that sets up, we'll see that precipitation. Right now, it's focusing on the southern portion of the state. We could see that back up a little bit. But more importantly, there is more energy coming down the pipeline, and we see below normal temperatures from next Thursday to the following Tuesday as another important wave starts to develop over the Memorial Day weekend and starts to lift into our region. That's going to increase our precipitation chances, especially the second half of next weekend. We see that above normal moisture over the eastern half of the state, below normal over the west, and it gets really cool as we get into about the 9th to 10th of the month with possible frost across the northern plains. So Troy, overall, we're going to start to see a cool down starting this weekend. Best chances of moisture will be Sunday night into Monday, and then we cool down midweek into the low 70s before we warm up next weekend, before we then cool down significantly.